Today we're going to look at Brandon Copeland, the Patriots' newest linebacker, and the plays he made on the field in his 2 years with the New York Jets. We'll take a look at his sacks. He had 6.5 sacks in his 2 years with the Jets. Only a sack and a half last year, but 5 the previous year. The Patriots are obviously hoping to get that 5-sack guy back in 2020. Copeland played 3 main positions for the New York Jets. I have them highlighted on the screen here. The left and right side, he played an on the ball, up in a 2-point stance, outside of the tackler, tight end, rusher, mostly pass rushing situations. They'd let him come after the quarterback, usually a type of controlled rush. He'd use his hands mostly on inside moves, little club move, little up and under type move. Very controlled on his way to the quarterback in the sacks. Nothing spectacular, but did keep working to the quarterback. Did have a nose for making a play back in 2018, obviously less so in 2019. And then he did also play an off-the-ball linebacker role, very limited role for the New York Jets. He only played a small percentage of their snaps, right around 30% of their snaps last year. He was not a pass coverage guy. His pass coverage stats were not spectacular. 13 of 18 completed passes last year as a defender. He's much more in a role of, let's come downhill, either in a run-stopping role or to sack the quarterback. He'd step up from that middle role. 2 games he did play as their primary middle linebacker, and he was very much in that role. Very passive, sat back, kept everything in front of him. He will not be in that role in New England. I expect either Hightower or Jawan Bentley to fill that role in 2020, but Copeland can do it from time to time. Much more likely, though, you see him as an off-the-edge guy, maybe rotating with Simon or Winovich in 2020. Let's take a look at the tape. So what do you know? Apparently I lied. This was Copeland's other sack of the season last year. His actually first one against the Dolphins. Copeland right in the middle of the screen, middle linebacker. Usually this game he was a little farther back, but stepping up for a middle blitz, similar to what Collins did for the Patriots. So possibly a play that they could see him doing this year in New England. He's going to loop around the right side of the offensive line, left side of the screen here. As the tackle comes down, Copeland you see going left. He's going to go around the tackle and try and get to Fitzpatrick. Nice fight. Good job against the running back. Keeps his one shoulder clean. Finds a way to get to Fitzpatrick as we take a second look here. Keeps that right shoulder clean. Gets the quarterback for a nice sack. Folks, we're going to take a look at the definition of a coverage sack here. This was Copeland's final sack of his 5-sack season last year with the New York Jets. He's on the left side of the screen right now. We'll get a better view from the end zone view. I just wanted you to notice not all sacks are created equal. Clearly the Jet defense does a fantastic job covering the Texans' receivers there. Is a third quarter, 2nd and 11 situation. Copeland, again, right side of the offensive line, just outside the tackle. He is up in a 2-point stance, and not a lot of technique really to write home about here. This is just effort and having a great defense behind you. Eventually, he does get there and brings Watson down for the sack. We're taking a look at Copeland here against the Buffalo Bills. He's currently at the bottom of their screen again on the line of scrimmage. Right now he's outside the tackle. Looks like they think something's going to the offense's right, so Copeland's going to bump down. You'll see in the end zone view actually to inside the tackle. And again, really just an effort play from Copeland. He's going to beat the tackle inside really just with effort, climbs the pocket, gets to Allen. for the nice sack. We'll take a look at the end zone view, much clearer view there. Again, Copeland jumps down here, so you probably think there's something going right. The Bills are going to run a little play action to the right and then come back for Allen to pass. And it's not really a great move by Copeland, but just effort. Fights off the tackle and gets the sack. Nice play by Copeland. We're going to take a look here. 2018 season against Mitch Trubisky in the Chicago Bears. Copeland again playing middle linebacker. Right now he's over Kyle Long, just on the outside of the center, about a yard or so back. Really not a good view from the sky cam in Chicago, so we'll just take a look at this view. Kind of spying Trubisky, it looks like here. Trubisky obviously not a great threat to throw, as you'll see. He's going to tuck it and run. And it does count as a sack. It was a 1-yard loss, but Copeland really just showing to fight, consistency of the football, play to the whistle, and make the most of it. So you'll see him basically spying Trubisky, kind of eyeing him up, and then as Trubisky goes, Copeland will go. So he sees the opening, he goes, and we'll finish him off there. Nice little play by Copeland to get to the quarterback, sees an alley, goes, makes a play. Nice football instincts from Copeland there. Copeland again coming off the edge of the 2018 season. Copeland is on the left side of your screen, outside the left tackle. He's going to have a nice controlled rush on the way to Kirk Cousins. This is 3rd and 21 at the Minnesota 14. So Kirk is just trying to make a play here for the Vikings. Copeland, a nice controlled rush, as I said, doesn't go outside of his responsibilities at all, and rushes on his way to the quarterback. Nothing spectacular for moves. Again, try to use his hands a little bit. But just going to keep working some more. Fighting with a tackle, gets free. It was not a safety. He was down at the 1, but a nice play by Copeland. To me, of Copeland's sacks, this is the one you're going to see the most amount of moves out of him. This is Week 2, 2018 against the Dolphins. 3rd and 5. Copeland's at the left side of your screen, outside of the left tackle. That's Laramie Tunsil at the time. Copeland does a nice job here. He's going to basically do an inside move, trying to use his hands and get on his way to Tannehill. Does a nice job fighting again, and clearly this is where he's teeing off. Most of his later film looks a lot more controlled. So we'll see the Patriots, what they do with him in 2020. Do they want him to play with this type of tenacity or kind of that type of control? I'd imagine it's more the control that they sort later on. Though you do want to have a guy a little bit like Winovich was this year at times that can just kind of tee off and get to the cornerback. And this is what Copeland does here on his way to sacking Tannehill. I mean, nice work. Fights through 2 guys. No one really sets and blocks him. Clearly, Dolphins still trying to figure out what they're doing at this point. The passes him off to the guard. Guard's a little late. And once the guard is kind of late to react, Copeland uses his speed and is able to keep his left shoulder clean and get to Tannehill. Nice job there for the sack for Copeland. We showed you Copeland's sacks. Now let's show you a little bit of the tackling. I won't show you much. Here's a different view from Copeland. Here he is off the ball. Pittsburgh's in a really unbalanced set. 2 tight ends to the right-hand side with the receiver. So the Jets are set up accordingly. Copeland in an obviously unusual position outside the tackle there, but plenty off the line of scrimmage. And to me, what you like to see here is this is football. I mean, he just zeroes in. He knows what's happening. He attacks the football. You don't see this on his film very often. He's much more passive, much more works his way to the ball. Here, I mean, this is Week 16 of 2019. He knows the Jets are obviously done at this point. Pittsburgh still fighting, and obviously not a very talented offense at this point. But 51, Copeland's just going to go make a play. You'll see Pittsburgh's going to try and run a little inside action here. He sees the hole, reacts, and just goes and gets the football. And that's what you like to see. I don't anticipate much of this, but he's a football player. He can go get the football from time to time and do this nice little tackle for loss to the New York Jets.